Down at the Palisades Park.
Arizona.
Oh, perfect. Welcome, guys.
With a mall food court coming up on your left, the East River Plaza. And there's going to be nothing that'll teach this generation nutrition like a mall food court. Circle Line has been operating in these waters since 1945. You can't see the city because of the buildings, the people, the noise. When you're out on the water, you actually have perspective. On our right, Randall's Island. Carl Eichmann donated buku bucks to do Downing Stadium over on your right. You can see everything laid out in front of you. And we get to touch all 5 boroughs in a concise time, under 3 hours. What is not to love about that? You see it all here. My name is David Parker. My contract says I'm a tour commentator / deckhand. Movie or the television show, Faye? Driving down the lane. Shooting from the key. Switch! It's good! August 13th, 1994 is the first time my name officially appears on a schedule. And I will do 3 or 4 trips a day. I would say there would be an average about 300. I don't really take a vacation, so I will interact with somewhere between 250 to 300,000 people a year. Seriously, I work with the best of the best. These guys, licensed, inspected, trained by the Coast Guard. And fortunately for me, these guys coached me up where I'm now good deckhand / tour commentator.
All right, let me grab a mop. Very good. All right, let's get to it. My name's Anthony Nolasco. My title's a little complicated. I'm a deckhand, a senior deckhand, training captain. So as a deckhand, your obligation is a bit wide, right? We board the passengers. Please watch your step here. We're responsible for the safety of the passengers. We're also responsible for janitorial work, like cleaning up the vessel, getting it ready, and as well as some engine work, checking the fluids in the engines, things like that. Before he shuts it off, if you take a look out here, we have power now. If I were to touch that, I'll get electrocuted. It's a very wide scope. As for a senior deckhand, you're in charge of the crew. You're the second in command for the captain. You're responsible for leading the crew, making sure everything's done in a timely manner. Even in the case of an experienced deckhand, it's my job to double check he shuts that off. I've been working with Circle Line for, I think, almost 10 years. I started here at 18 years old, fresh out of high school. This was supposed to be a summer job. And once I started, I kind of fell in love with it, I just fit right in. And so I stuck around. Okay, here we go. When a person walks on this boat, we treat it like a home. We're here very often. So this boat is a reflection of not only the crew, but the company. And we take that very seriously. Watch your step. A lot of it is just cleaning. And that's fine, right? We deal with thousands of passengers a day. This boat has to be prepared. And our job is to do whatever the boat needs. We are here to maintain the security, the integrity of the boat, as well as the cleanliness of it. So, all right, let's get moving. So at all times, there's a deckhand up there with the captain, being a second set of eyes and ears on the water. We rescued somebody out of the East River. There was a canoe that flipped, capsized, and we pulled him out of the water on this boat that you're on right now. We know each other better than siblings sometimes. It's a little weird. The captain you see there, he started as a line catcher, as a teenager. He started up as that, which is essentially like the bottom of the food chain. He's our #1 captain now, so he's the highest seniority captain in the whole company.
Okay, that's just one of our old boats going around Split Rock. But the funny part is, once you see it, the camera pan to shore, you're going to see a baby carriage. And when you see that baby carriage, you're going to see a name that says Kenneth. That was me in the crib. So is it destiny? Well, my name is Ken Corcoran, and I'm a captain at Circle Line. I've been a captain for over 30 years. I started the company in 1983 as a line catcher working on the dock, and it evolved into becoming a captain years later. So we're checking throttle, checking steering before we start up our main engines and making sure everything is in place. My responsibilities are to steer this boat around Manhattan Island safely. But it sounds simple, but it's more encompassing. Right now I'm getting the sound system set up, our GPS. I'm not only a captain, I'm a DJ as well. I have a network of professionals, marine engineers, electricians, mechanics, and so forth that helps me to steer this boat safely around Manhattan Island. Yes, it used to be just a compass and a wheel. Now we have all the toys that we can utilize to help us navigate safely. So everything is in place. We're going to start main engines. It's never about me, that's how I grew up. It's about what you do. It's about the people. Our boats are 165 feet long and they carry up to 600 passengers. So it's important that we have this boat ready for them before they get on board. And I'd say I have steered this boat about 20,000 times. That's about 300,000 miles. That's like a trip to the moon. You can tell I get around. So I like to say we are the platform, the stage, if you will, to showcase the greatest city in the world. What people do say is when they take the trip, if it's their first thing in the city that they're doing, they say it opens up the city to them. And if it's their last thing that they do before they leave the city, they tell me that it ties everything in.
Oh, okay.
Loved it. Thank you so much.
So it's a great perspective to see the city, no pun intended.
So we heard from our captain that you're called the love guy.
The love. I met my own wife. She was a passenger on the Circle Line. That's how we met. I have been here doing tours 31 seasons, although management only regards me as being here for 30. I was a college professor. I taught public speaking and acting, none of which I use here. I got a job in concessions, slinging hot dogs and t-shirts during the summer just to stay off unemployment. But management found out my background and drafted me. Before I came here full-time, I was running the information booth on Liberty Island about 3 years. So there was a year or two of overlap where I was both there on Liberty Island and here on the boat. And it's actually one of my first childhood memories. My mother, as a child, from her mother, got a little bronze Statue of Liberty that was on my nightstand. And that's one of the first things I remember waking up to, or the last thing I remember going to sleep on. So if I can connect folks to the city in some way they did not know they did, that's most delightful. Pointing out the Chrysler Building is actually the tallest brick building in the world. Now, I had no idea that a group of bricklayers from the United Kingdom were on board, and suddenly a huge cheer went up because I pointed out the tallest brick building in the world. The job is to be both entertaining and informative. In television, if you have a 60% approval rating, do you know what they call you? A god. I'm happy to say my approval rating here is over 90%, and nothing about me is divine. You know, passenger comes on the boat and sees me and said, "Oh, I'm so glad. I know we're going to have a good tour today." What she shared with later was that she and her mom had come out on the boat a year before her mom had passed. And there was her mother on the deathbed. And her last words were, "Do you remember when we took that Circle Line cruise and that tour guide was so fun? What was his name? David, I love you." Those were her last words. Me just doing this, ridiculous show. But those were her last words.
Me and my wife have a joke. We call him Sunset Kenny. I see more sunsets with him than I do with my wife. So it's like a sibling relationship here, Like, you love your siblings, but you also want to kill them from time to time. And then you have the older guys like Kenny, more like a father, to the guys around here, to the young guys coming around. Sometimes we have long days, but my office is the New York Sightseeing dream. Not only that, but we meet thousands and thousands of people a week from all over the world, every single corner. Oh, perfect.
Here we have the Hudson and the East River forming to Upper New York Bay, and with the Statue of Liberty and the city lights against the water. Is there more dramatic a curtain rise than that?
What's changing is the city scene, the city skyline, which is really interesting because when people say, "Are you bored seeing the same thing over again?" No, the city is in flux. It's forever changing. I frame the picture and our tour guide paints it with his words, and that's our Picasso. But the difference between the Picasso and us is we're changing the colors, we're adding more things to it each and every day.